Now, this question I get so often in my community Q&A series, and right now there's nothing yet confirmed for it, but I wanted to take this opportunity to get to know what the community's thoughts were about having crossplay in Dying Light 2, whether they supported it or whether it should launch with the game or come later down the road or not at all. I made a bunch of polls on this channel to find out this information. I took comments that I will be referring to throughout this video and more. So, the possibility of crossplay. What do games need in order to have this cross-platform playability? It's surely not an easy task at all. If it were, all games would have crossplay. However, there's lots of server-side loading, coding, and additional work associated with this process. And one thing to remember with this is that Microsoft and Sony were very much against crossplay for the longest time, especially in the last generation of consoles. So it's still a new thing that many companies are trying to understand. This major shift in the gaming industry really didn't occur until Fortnite, and now more and more companies, more and more publishers are starting to move towards accepting this new form of game design. But it's still not yet considered the norm in gaming just yet. Now, does the community even want crossplay? Are people willing to sacrifice the feature in order to get the game earlier? Of course, that's how a majority of you voted. After over 1,000 people voting, this is what you guys determined. And each and every single person here did raise great concerns, some positives, some negatives with the feature. It was really great to go ahead and read what everybody had to say. To quickly sum up everything, now with the positives, aside from being able to play with your friends, how else will this benefit the community? So let's take a look at the original Dying Light. Using numbers from 2019, the game has hit over 16 million players and still maintains a high number of users daily on the Steam charts today. This game released 6 years ago and performs better than most AAA games in 2020, especially Marvel Avengers. The community is still very much alive. Now think about if we introduced crossplay to the original. The wonders that would occur from it. More people to play with and tons more options. And with the game that is still being supported to this day, with new content coming out soon, the community would immensely benefit from having a bigger player base available to them. It would certainly add more longevity to the game and open it up for more players to play with each other. As for the negatives, in most cases it's significantly easier to hack on PC than it is compared to the consoles. And many of you did raise this concern with me. Many of you don't want a hacker coming into your game, which is certainly a big issue. I completely understand. But if there was a good system in place from Techland, some additional negatives would be that PC players might have an advantage at times depending on the game mode that they're playing. If, for example, a PvP mode was to be in Dying Light 2, they might have a slight advantage with controls compared to a console player, and this is an issue that really suffers other crossplay games too. To be honest, for me, if hackers are not an issue in the sequel, I am totally in favor of having crossplay. But what I think would be best for the game is having crossplay come later down the road, maybe a month or two or so after launch. A lot of you agreed with this perspective, and in doing so, it would give them more time to work out any bugs, duplication glitches, and things of that nature within the first couple of months. Introducing crossplay when first launching will give them a whole nother thing to worry about. If they did, however, launch with it, that would be very ambitious, and I completely respect the decision. So I want to ask this question to you. Do you want crossplay? If so, are you willing to have the game delayed longer in order to ensure that it's a feature when it launches? Or would you like to have the game come out sooner and then crossplay does come out later down the road or not at all? For me, like I said, I'll take the game earlier. I understand both sides to this. Trust me, not being able to play with your friends due to platforms is sometimes a slap in the face, especially when this generation is starting to normalize such a thing. I think the community at this point really just wants Dying Light 2 to come out, and we'll take whatever we can get when it's a finished product. I also did one more final poll right before doing the recording of this video, and it says that 62% of you say that Dying Light 2 does not need crossplay. And a lot of you in the comments, you welcome the idea, but it's not a defining factor for you into your purchasing for the game. You all gave me so much insight on this topic, new perspectives. Trust me, I read everything that I get, good or bad, and you all made some great arguments. But anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy, consider subscribing and leaving a like as well. Feel free to follow me on social media or consider joining the community Discord. We can continue this conversation further on either platform. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
I just gotta make the jump.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck. Goodbye.